Flosstube, what's going on? It's been 2 years since my last video, approximately, give or take. It's been a rough 2 years. I've been dealing with a lot of stress at work and medical issues caused from stress at work. I'm not going to get into it now, but suffice it to say I had some shit to work through. So I'm moving from Colorado back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in a month. So this video is probably very badly timed because I'm going to be super busy and my entire life is going to get turned on its head. But I had a Skype interview this morning and I, brushed my hair. So I was like, computer's out, video's up, let's make a Flosstube video. So I am surrounded by things. Again, as is normal with me, I have taken no notes, so we're just gonna see what happens here, and I'll do my best. I might have to, cut some stuff out or insert pictures because a lot of the stuff I have is older, because I haven't made a Flosstube video in 2 years. Okay, so first thing, since everybody likes to show off their mugs on Flosstube, this is mine. It was a Christmas gift. It's lovely. Okay, so I've got some stuff that I worked on back in the day. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen all of this sort of stuff, but if you're just a Flosstube watcher, I've been AWhile for a long time. So I have it finished and framed the Spock pillows. Is it Spock pillows? Star Trek pillow sampler from Cloud's Factory. Here, I'll pan up. Okay, so that's Spock in all his glory finished. I got it framed at Michael's. And it's just got this, it's a pillow finish. There's no glass on it. It's just puffy underneath with batting because that's the way I prefer it. But it's just got this really cool shiny metallic frame on it. I thought it looked kind of space-agey. So there's that. You may remember in my other Flosstube video when I was talking about this, my intention was to finish it into a pillow to give to my oldest sister as a Christmas gift. And I still have it, as you can see, so that didn't happen. First of all, I didn't make the cut. I didn't make it by Christmas. It wasn't finished. And second of all, it's one of those things, it's really tricky to give a cross stitch as a gift because you wonder how much is actually going to be appreciated by the person you are gifting it to. I wasn't 100% certain how this would be received. As a Christmas gift, maybe, along with something else that I was getting her, but after I missed the Christmas deadline, I was just like, well, if I gave it to her for her birthday, I'm not sure. I wasn't 100% about it. I was like, I spent a lot of time and effort on it. I'm just gonna hang it on my wall. And there it has stayed ever since. So I'm a terrible gift giver, and I kept it for myself. But it's very cool. I like it a lot. I had, our Michael's is 2 hours away because I live in the middle of nowhere. And I didn't have time to, wash and prep it before my sister was like, we're going to Grand Junction. Come get your stuff framed. And there was a mark on the bottom of this, because I didn't have a grime guard on it, so it just got, a strip of dirt where the Q-snap was clipped onto it. And I didn't have time to wash it, and I was like, well, I don't want to miss the opportunity because they were having a framing sale, so I just got it framed anyway. And then it came back, and that mark was just, staring me in the face. It was driving me crazy, so I took, some Dawn dish detergent and a Q-tip and, blotted and, scrubbed and patted until the mark came out while it was framed and, all finished on the back because I wasn't going to take this whole thing apart. But it came out. It's lovely. Hangs in my room. It's very cool. So there's that guy. And then the other thing that I was working on, I think I had only just started it the last time I had made a YouTube video, but this is the Fox by Bothy Threads. And she's all finished and has been hanging on my wall for a long time also. Again, it's just a pillow finish. I did this one myself with a cheap frame I got at Walmart that matched her hair quite well. This was a really fun one to do. It didn't take very long at all. I love that. I think this is the whisper thread sort of stuff in her tail and in her ear headband thing going on there. So it's quite fuzzy. They just gave me a piece of, you know, the hard side of the back of Velcro. They just gave me a little square of it, and once you stitched it, you just kind of had to mess it up with the Velcro strip. I love it. She's very cute. So there is that one. Those are the only two framed finishes I have. I haven't been well, I've got several projects going, a lot more than I had last time. I think I've got like 7 or so whips in the mix here, but I haven't been working really hard on any one project. I sort of kind of lost my mojo for a while, and I've been struggling to get it back. But I'm working on a lot of things. I just haven't finished anything in a long time. So in no particular order, I've got a bunch of stuff in front of me, and I'm just gonna pick it up and show you. Nothing is out of the Q-snap or bag or anything, so I'm just gonna see how this goes. I've gone on a project bag kick. Since last I made my video, I had 0 project bags, and then the lovely Danielle Stitcherista, hey, it's been a while, she sent me 2 project bags in the mail because she's a nice person, so I can show you those. I don't have both of them out here. There was a Christmas one, and I don't have any Christmas projects going on. No, I bought the Christmas one. What's the other one that she sent? Hang on. I gotta look through my bags here. So I know this was one. Oh, okay. This was one that she sent me. It's a So Much to Love bag. Seashells on it. Very cool. So she sent me that. And I've got a thing for collecting little charms and needle minders and things like that. So I just put a little, can you see that? A little seashell zipper pull on it. So Danielle sent me that one. She also sent me this one, which is a cool, like, prim pumpkin design. This one's still got the So Much to Love zipper pull felt heart on it. So she sent me that one too in the mail. So that was very nice of her, and I never got to thank her on video because I stopped making videos. So this project bag, some of these I bought, some of these I made, so I'll just talk about them as we go through. This project bag was by Emily of Eclectic Possessions. She was doing that bag sale that sold out in like 2 minutes or less, maybe less than 2 minutes, and I managed to snag the black cat bag, which I love. Because you can't see him, but Anubis is just off camera here, waiting to make his appearance, I'm sure. But the cool thing about this fabric is that the whiskers and the eyes glow in the dark. And then this strap here, I bought a couple of these, and I bought one for my sister also because I made her a project bag for Christmas. I love these things. They're from So Much to Love also. And they're just little suspender connectors. So if you happen to be taking your bag out and about and you don't want to have to put your bag inside of another bag to carry it, you just snap these little suspender clips on. It's fully adjustable, so you can wear it crossbody or along one shoulder or whatever you need to do. That's there. The zipper pull on this one. I manage a makerspace lab at work, and we have a 3D printer there, and this is actually a ring that I printed out. It's got cat ears on it, but I never wear it as a ring because it's made of plastic and it's uncomfortable, so I just made it into a zipper pull for my bag. So inside of this guy, I have, again, nothing is really like in order here, so I'm just going to show you. I put the pictures on my project boxes, so I'll just show you my project boxes, I guess. They're kind of glittery, so hopefully You can see it okay. But this is Bestet and Anubis. I'll have to check my paper. I got this on Etsy, but I'll have to double check the name of the seller. So far I've finished Anubis and I'm working on Bestet. The only change I made to this pattern is that all of this is just DMC colors, but I've switched out all the gold DMC for metallics, so it would be sparkly. So I've got that going on. Let me check and see who it's by. Oh, here we go. No designer information, but there's that. Let's see. Gotta be in here somewhere. You would think. The designer name is not written on any of my printouts. Don't worry, I have reference material. Just go to my Etsy purchases. Obviously, since I did my flip through of my binder last, I have bought a lot more stuff. But we're not gonna get into that today. Okay, so this design is by Let's Make Crafts, all one word. That's the name of the shop. On Etsy, I also bought a big colorful scarab beetle that I'm going to stitch on the same type of fabric and make it like a matchy-matchy sort of thing. But that is that. And like I said, everything's still kind of on the Q-snap here, so just take one side off so you can see. It's quite wrinkly, but you know, you'll have that. So there's Anubis all finished. You can see how shiny he is. This is also on opalescent fabric in sand. Think picture this plus. And then there's Bestet started. So right now I'm filling in the gray on her ear there. And what I do is I just do all the black. I'll do I think there's 3 shades of gray in it, and then I'll just do the metallics last. And with the metallics on this project, I found a conversion chart that converts DMC colors straight into Kreinik. And I didn't know how I felt about it, and I got the golds in, and they weren't varying enough for me to really feel comfortable that they were gonna show up right with like the shadows and stuff like that. So I'm using one strand of the metallic with one strand of the actual DMC color so I can still get that kind of shadow effect in his ear. So that is that. Just attempt to organize this as I put it away. I think that's everything. Okay, so that's Bestet and Anubis. This next one, oh, there's the other piece of the Q-snap. I was wondering where that went. This next one is one of my favorites. It's in the So Much to Love bag from Danielle. So I call this my Harry Potter cross stitch, but it's not actually Harry Potter because I think that it's copyrighted or something. I don't know. This is by the Floss Box. And it's called The Academy of the Magic Arts. So it is very Harry Potter. Like, obviously, that's Harry, Ron, and Hermione at the bottom there. Like, no doubt about it. It's very whimsical, and I quite like it. I especially like Hermione's hair. I don't know why. I hate Harry and Ron's hair. So I'm going to be doing some adjustments there. First of all, Harry's not a brunette. So he's going to need black hair. And I don't like how it comes like down past their ears. I'm not doing that. So I've got that going on there. Said this is by the Floss Box. They have their own website. So if you're interested, they do cross stitch and regular embroidery patterns. So they've got some cool stuff. And this is how far, got a fuzzy. This is how far I am on that. I've completely finished the castle in the middle. The next thing I'm going to do is just work on, there's like a mountain range that kind of sits in the back here. This fabric is something, still got the tag on it. This is 28 count Mirage Lugana. I believe this is also from Picture This Plus. I think it's going to look really cool on there. The recommended fabric is some sort of gray, and this one just has some nifty modeling in it. And I've got my Nimbus 2000 needle minder on there. Don't know how well you can see that, but there it is. So this one's really fun to work on. And stitching that castle was really fun. So that's Harry Potter. What's next? The other bag. This is also one of my favorites. I've been working on this for a while. This is, I want to say Little House Needleworks. I'm pretty sure that's right. The design is by Diane Williams. It's old Nantucket. I'm sure you've seen this around. It's not popular right now, but I'm pretty sure it used to be. I just love the saying on that. To the journey's end ye roam upon the foaming sea. Nantucket waits to see thy sails as my heart waits for thee. It's awesome. You know, I have an obsession with, like, nautical and pirates and things like that. I'm not nautical in, like, the beachy sense. I'm nautical in, like, the historic sense. So pirates, whaling ships, that sort of thing. So this is how far I've gotten on this one. Hopefully you can see it because it's stitched on a linen. This is just the recommended linen. I think it's cocoa or something like that. I just, you know, on 123, whenever you're buying a pattern and it just gives you all the suggested flosses and the fabric, I was just like, yes, purchase. So that's what I did. So this is how far I am on this one. That's showing up pretty well. So I've got all the text done. The next thing that I'm going to be working on is the vine. It'll be behind her, and then the big blue house, which I'm sure is going to take me ages. Just a reminder. So I'm going to be working on this vine that comes up here, and then starting on the house, and then I'll just go back around and do the border last. So that's that one. See if I can roll it back up here. I'm having an issue. I have all these project bags, right, which keep all of my projects well and organized unto themselves. But where do you put your project bags? My bookshelf is full. I thought just stacking them side by side on my bookshelf would be a good place to put them. But right now they just sit in this big fabric bin beside my chair, and it's just very messy, and I don't like it. So, and some of my project bags are wider than the others, so like all the project bags that I've been making bigger so they can fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap inside of them. So they don't all necessarily stack together well. So suggestions there. Maybe I just need to, when I move, I'm going to be in a bigger room. So maybe I can fit another bookshelf in there and just stack my project bags. Tuna has decided to take a nap on the rest of the stuff that I have to show you. So I guess I'll move him. Tuna. Hey, that's not a good spot for you. Here, this one's kind of under his butt. This is another So Much to Love bag that I bought. It was on clearance. I like Disney, so, and the little charm on it just says, follow your heart. Can you see? I still haven't figured out this camera thing. 3 videos did not make me an expert. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So in this one, got a sew to stitch pattern. I don't see this pattern around a lot, but I really like it. Of course, I don't have the actual picture. These are just my working copies. So this is called, what are you called? It's called like Siesta with the Kitties or something like that. It looks like this. The one thing that bugged me about this pattern, I mean, this is essentially my life, so that's why I had to stitch it. I didn't like how the pillow on the side is cut off. I mean, it makes sense if you're framing it square or something like that, but I was like, really? Like, it wouldn't have taken that much more effort to just round that heart pillow out. I contemplated doing it on my own, but then I cut a piece of fabric that's just white Aida because I had it, and I didn't give myself a lot of room on the sides. So whatever. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm not very far along in this one, so my mind might change. But Siesta with the Kitties is there. And this is how far I am on that one. I had to grid this one because I cut this fabric like pretty close to the edge. And I wanted to make sure that it would actually fit before I carried on. So, cookies, yarn, candy, popcorn, legs. I'm not enjoying this one very much, and I don't know why, because it's very cute, and I really like the pattern. I think my problem might stem from the fact that the entire pattern is outlined in black. And my problem with that is that with black, you want to make sure that if you're doing the black first, you can't carry your stitches across, because if you're stitching a lighter color over top, it'll show through. And I've just got it on white Aida, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm having to go in and do all the lighter colored stuff and then go in and outline it all in black. And I don't mind back stitching, but this is annoying me to just have to go around and actually stitch the black, cross stitch the black all the way around in X's. So I would like to just do the black first, because then you have a complete outline and you can just go in and fill everything in, and it requires less brain power than usual. But like I said, I don't want those carried threads, because I know I will carry threads because I'm lazy that way. I don't want them to show through the front when I'm done. So taking my time with it, but it's kind of frustrating. To extend Tuna's nap just a little bit longer, I'll show you this one. So I recently bought 2 of the Omnic quantum frames, because I like I think I said this before in my other videos. I like the idea of a scroll frame, especially. I haven't done a ton of beading. I've done barely any beading. But I like the idea of rolling it up in the scroll frame as opposed to using a giant Q-snap where everything's exposed, or, you know, trying to squash it in, whatever. So I bought some quantum frames, some larger ones, and I have a Lowry stand, so I bought the large frame adapter to use with them. And this is a project that you have seen before, and I have not made hardly any progress on it, but here you go. This is Oh, Tuna is actually laying on the bag with this. Oh, fine. Excuse me. He's mad now. This is another So Much to Love bag that I bought. Kitties. So this is Rose of Sharon by Mirabilia. That's what she is going to look like. I like working on this pattern, but I was having issues with the fabric. I had it on another scroll frame, and the tension was just really off, and it was bothering me, because I want drum tight tension. And you can't get that with a lot of scroll frames, so that's why these quantum frames really appealed to me. So I thought I'd give them a shot. So I bought 2 sizes. They're both fairly large. I don't remember exactly what sizes I bought, but this is how far I am on her. Not much farther than the last time you saw it, but she's moving along. I also sewed these scroll rod covers that match a project bag that I made, which I'll show you in a minute. They don't match the bag that this project is in, but I had extra fabric, so I went ahead and did that. So that's Rose of Sharon. This one's intended to be a gift for my mom someday. I just have other things. Like, I like stitching on it. It goes really fast. It works up really quick. I just never, like, sit down and actually dedicate the time straight to this project like I do other ones for whatever reason. So that's there. Let's talk about this needle minder for a second. This Cameo needle minder. I posted this on Stitch Mania, I think, and Instagram. It's a Cameo needle minder, but it's green. I also have one in like a brownish yellowy tone that came with it. I got them from Michael's. They were just little pendants, you know, they had the little loop at the top so you could string them on a chain or whatever, and I cut the loops off. I got some jeweling supplies. Jewelry? supplies. And I cut the loop off and then sanded the metal down, and then I just added the magnet on the back to make it a needle minder because she's beautiful. See if I can get her closer. Isn't she gorgeous? I love her. So I made that. And you can have one too if you go to Michael's. It's part of the Pemberley collection. They have a bunch of little cool antique looking stuff there. Okay. So this is the project bag that I made that matches that fabric. This is the same project bag that I made my sister for Christmas. We went to Europe last year, I believe. Seems so long ago now. We went to Europe and we went to a lot of like tea shops and things like that, and she bought a little teacup and saucer in Europe that almost exactly matches the color of this fabric here. So I got this fabric on fabric.com. I don't remember what it's called, but I sewed this all together. It's got no sneak peeks now, but just pull that out of here. It's got a cool lining on the inside with like antique forks and knives and spoons and things like that. And then this is just another So Much to Love strap that I got. So there's this project bag. It's big enough to fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap. No, I won't be selling these because sewing is hard. And one is enough. I don't know. I mean, I give a lot of kudos to Emily and Mama Joan and all those people who are selling project bags because, man, I sewed 2 yesterday, which I'll show you, and by the end of the second one, like, I was rushing through, and I know that I was making mistakes on things, and, like, I just had zero patience for my sewing machine, and to sew multiple bags of the same type that aren't even for you, I could never do it. But in this project bag, I have a Riolis kit. I got this at Hobby Lobby a while back. I think it's called Furry Friends. Does it say on here? Everything's in a different language. I think it's called Furry Friends. I think I've looked it up online before. I just looked up this number on Riolis and that's what it came back as. So it's cats and books, which is everything you could ever need in life aside from stitching, but it's a stitched piece, so it all incorporates. So that's that. I haven't gotten very far in this. It is like a full coverage piece, and I have to stitch it a little differently because the Riolis threads are like a fuzzy, woolly cotton. I don't really know. I don't know what they are, but maybe you can see. Can you see how fuzzy that is? You can. So I don't remember where I saw this tip, but essentially they said, you know, instead of stringing it on to do like the loop method, for example, you're basically doing the opposite. So you're stringing it on one side of your thread, pulling it to the middle, and then bringing both of the ends of your thread to the other side. So your needle's threaded up here where the loop is, and your threads are dangling down here. So that helps the ends from fraying because you're securing the ends first. It also makes you feel a little bit trapped because once you start stitching, the only way to get your needle off of those threads is to cut it off. But I don't mind the threads. You know, keep your length. And I don't even keep my lengths that short. Like, it's fairly long, but the way that it kind of fuzzes up makes a really good coverage on the project. So I'm not having a problem with that at all. It's just different. So for this one, I'll just show you. It's in the Q-snap. I haven't gotten very far off, so I'll just show you it from here. So I finished up the lampshade and the entire lamp, and now this is the first cat's foot coming up here, and then his tail that's coming up. This one's fun. I don't have any problems with this at all. The Ada is very scratchy. It's just the Ada that came with the kit. It's like an oatmeal or something, but I mean, it's like sandpaper. But I have the grime guard on it, so I'm not touching the fabric with my hands a lot. Otherwise, I think it would really start to irritate. But it's fine. So that's going. That's in my teacup bag. This is another, I believe this is also from the Pemberley collection. My sister's bag has a teapot on it in this design, but the teapot charm also came with little teacup charms, and they're just the antique-y looking tea set. So that's my charm for this bag. And she's got the teapot. Okay. That is all that I'm currently working on. I've got some stuff kitted up that I want to start soon, but I want to at least get one other finish under my belt because I haven't finished anything in a long time, and I need it. So I think the Bastet Anubis piece is the one that's going to get finished the quickest, and then I can start something else. So I've got some stuff kitted up here. I think it's just these two, but I also bought some more patterns the other day that I'm quite looking forward to. This is the first project bag I ever made. You can see it's looking a little different than the others. It's just a little guy with some fabric that I commandeered from work because in the space that I manage at work, we also have sewing machines in like a crafty area. So I commandeered some of this fabric and I thought I'd give sewing a project bag a try. So it's not so bad. I like the design. And the little charm I have on this one is just a cool, like, gold filigree heart. Okay. So, I think that I've talked about this design before. It's an artisy design, and it's one of the first big cross stitches that I ever started, but there were some color problems with the original design, and it put me off of it, and I found the Artisy Facebook page a few years back and I commented, and Tarina Clark, who is the lady who runs that page, who is wonderful, offered me the new updated chart. She said there were some issues with the coloring that she was aware of in the older charts with the software that they used. So she offered me the new updated chart that should hopefully have better colors for free. And I've had it just sitting around. And to me, even though I scrapped the old one, I still consider this my oldest WIP because I started it way back when and I do want to finish it, but I had to scrap the entire old piece. So this is what it looks like. It's called Sleeping Beauties. Artwork adapted by, not adapted by, but the artwork is by Jonas Nelson, and then Tarina adapted it for cross stitch. And it's sold through the Artisy site. So before I had done like this entire like middle part here with the wing, and then I came down into her hip and her skin was not skin colored, and I was just like, no, not feeling that. So I've re-kitted it up. I've got everything I need for it in here. I have not started it, but I think once I finish Bastet and Anubis that this will be my next start because I want to do it. So this is a piece of Legacy Lugana from Picture This Plus. It's modeled sort of weird, so I'm not 100% sure. It's a big piece. Let's see if I can move back a little bit. There's a wall behind me, so I can only go so far. It's modeled a little weird. Like you can see there's good modeling up at the top and then it goes down, but then in this corner and this corner, there's sort of these big patches of nothing. So I'm trying to decide the orientation of the fabric, how I should stitch it. Because when I frame it, I don't think I'm going to put a lot of excess fabric in the frame. I'm just trying to decide if it would be better to have those kind of bald patches on the bottom here or at the top where his wings are. I'm thinking along the bottom because that space is wider and I can frame it tighter to the bottom than I can to the top. So I've got that. It's a full coverage piece, so I haven't done one of those in a while. And I sort of want to. I own some, I just haven't started them. So that one's kitted up and ready to go when I'm ready. And then the last project that I have kitted up is also a full coverage piece and also a dragon piece. This one I decided to get kitted up and ready to go because it's the largest piece that I have, and I figure that I should start it so I can finish it before I die. Because it's going to take me a long time. I'm sure I'm going to, you know, me and this piece are going to be good friends for a long, long while. So this is the project bag for that one. Again, I think this is the second bag that I ever made. The ones that I'm making now are slightly wider and slightly higher. This one will fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap, but it's tight. There's not one in here now, but I have one of those full floss boxes inside of here. I really like the charm on this one. This is just like a satin ribbon that I found to put on the end of it here. And it's got this little moon charm. I have this habit of like going to Walmart and just perusing their jewelry section and being like, that's a nice necklace. I'm going to cut it apart. Make it a charm or a, what's it called? Needle minder. So this is also an artsy design. I don't have any heaven and earth designs just because they intimidate me, but for some reason I feel like artsy, which is essentially the same, full coverage designs. I mean, I really appreciated the fact that Tarina gave me that chart again for free. So I decided to go spend a bunch of money in her shop, and this is going to take me a while, so I don't feel the need to be like buying up a whole bunch of heaven and earth designs. But this is just called Little Dragon. I hope you can see that. I really like this one. One of the problems that I have with full coverage designs is that I feel like I'll get bored really easily if there's a lot of the same color going on. And this one has so much color in it that I think it'll kind of keep me on my toes. And that it's just gorgeous. I love this. So like I said, I felt like I just needed to get it started before I, you know, grow old and die. So, it's so pretty. Can you see all those colors? So that's everything. I mean, this box isn't even all the way full, so it's not terrible. I think there's 88 colors in this one, and I've got backup floss. So all that is just in this project bag here. And then on the other quantum frame that I got some of that, it's called Magic Grid or Easy Grid. It's the one by Zweigart, not the other one. It's in 10 by 10 squares. So I have not started it, but I did load it up on my frame. Again, I made some scroll bar grime guards for this. And I've got my needle minders all set. These frames, though, I marked, where is it? Up here. I marked where my starting block should be, because it's going to be, you know, pretty big. And it's really close to the edge up here, so I'm afraid that I might have to sew on some extra fabric and roll it up in here, and I don't want to do that. So I'm wondering if I can just get away with stitching this close to the top, but I feel like that's going to irritate me. I don't know. It's on here, it's waiting. Got a cool unicorn needle minder and a You're Never Too Old for Fairy Tales scroll needle minder. I have some more needle minders coming. I think they're at the post office, but I can't pick them up right now because it's too early. Our mailbox is broken, so our HOA needs to fix it, and the post office is just holding all of our mail, so we have to go pick it up ourselves. It's rough. So I have a package. It's in the post office. I just don't think it's been sorted yet. So I went this morning, and they were like, no, you're too early. So whatever. But that's this. All kitted up and ready to go. Got my large frame adapter for that bad boy. Alright. Getting to the end. So, I said I sewed 2 more project bags yesterday, and so I'll show those to you. I'm a member of the Bewitched Stitches group on Facebook, which is a great group. I love it. Them's my people. I just posted a book recommendation on there. You guys should all read it. And then you should go watch the YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician if you're into that dark, weird shit. It's good. It's good. Okay, so the first bag that I made, again with contraband fabric from work. It's a very spring sort of bag. So I don't know. I found this brown stuff and I found this flowered stuff, and they were sitting down next to each other, and I was like, that would make an excellent spring project bag. So I did. These are a lot bigger, so they fit an 11 by 11 Q snap and have a lot of extra room at the top and the sides. For that, and a little bunny rabbit. I can't do this. Bunny rabbit. Charm on there. In your garden, eating your flowers. And it's just got the same fabric that I used for the teapot bag accent pieces on the inside there. There's that. I'll put something in there. I might switch my Rose of Sharon into there, because I'm sure you do this too. I like the project bag to match the project inside the bag. So I can't do that with all of my projects, but that's that. This is my favorite bag of all time, because I've had this fabric for a while and I knew I wanted to make it into a project bag. I just hadn't gotten around to it. So again, I'm obsessed with pirates, and this fabric is called Skellywags, like scallywags. Ready? Ready? Oh yeah. Yes, this is an Alexander Henry print. If you've watched McKenna's videos at all, you will have seen the cowboy one. I don't know what that one's called. I'm more into pirates than I am into cowboys. They do offer this fabric. It kind of reminds me of like a Where's Waldo fabric, because there's so much to see on here. Like, look at this skeleton with her coconut bra. She doesn't have boobs, she's a skeleton. It's hilarious. I love this bag. The inside is just a black mottled fabric. And the charm is just an anchor. So there's that. What was I saying? Oh, they have this fabric in color, like this, which I wanted because I wanted to match it up the red and then put the lace on so it looked like piratey. I bought mine on fabric.com, and right now the Skellywags fabric is only available in color on there, but I'm fairly certain if you look elsewhere, they've also got like a sepia toned version in browns, and they've got a black and white version too. So you can choose, and I think it's the same with the cowboy fabric. I don't have it, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe. And I was gonna sew 3 project bags yesterday, but like I said, I was getting kind of fed up, and I was rushing through, and I was making mistakes, so I was like, need to stop, because I don't want to mess this other one up. So I've got my lining pieces cut for the next bag, just plain black there, and I'll give you a sneak peek. Pretty excited about this one. I think that this is also an Alexander Henry print. I bought all this fabric back in the day, so I don't remember the names of everything. If it is, and you know fabric, you'll recognize it. So it's this angry cat fabric, and I bought it in this like mauvey pink color. They also have it available in blue and possibly in white. Not 100% on that last one. But I have grumpy cats, and this cat right here, he just reminds me so much of Anubis that I had to have it. So this is going to be the actual project bag part, and then I just bought this like cheap fabric from Walmart for the top, so it's just black and white kitty print. This is how real professionals show project bags. It's going to have the same lace trim. I use this stuff for everything. I don't know, it just matches everything really well. And I got a pink zipper for it. So it's going to look something like that. Everything's cut. It's ready to go. I'm just taking a sewing break. And I'm having some shoulder pain, like along my collarbone. I'm not sure what that's about. I could have slept on it weird, or I could have cross-stitched too much, or Could have been using my rotary cutter to cut all of this fabric too much. I don't know, I irritated the muscle somehow. And it doesn't feel nice. So I haven't been doing a lot of stitching because I'm trying to give it a break. So that's that project bag coming out of the pipeline. Because I like you guys, I'm going to show you 2 more pieces of fabric that I'm really excited about. But I haven't kind of cut and kitted up the project bag sewing part yet, but they're really cool fabric. So hang on a second. Alrighty. So for all of you, those of you participating in the Edgar Allan Poe sal, you'll appreciate this fabric. Isn't that cool? There's so much going on here. That's why I'm sort of struggling. Like, you're not even seeing. There's like a big skull on it. There's an owl, a really cool owl over here. It's so cool. Look at that toad and that bat. The thing I'm struggling with this fabric is I love every part of it. And if I make a project bag, I want to see all of it. And project bags are only so big. So I might make this one without the accent pieces at the top and just make it all this fabric. Because I think it can speak on its own. There's a lot going on. But we'll see. So that's that fabric. And then the other one is really cool. This one comes in different color variations too. I got the red one. Isn't it neat? I really like that chick with that rose in her hair. These like skeleton horses where you can, it's not even really a skeleton, you can just see all of its musculature and stuff like that. I really like that guy down there too. There's so much. I got a full yard of each of these. So even if I make a project bag, there will be plenty extra if I want to use it for something else. Those are both really cool. I just haven't done anything with them yet. This one's, again, it's kind of a busy print. And there are certain pieces of it, like, you know, when you're cutting out just a regular fabric, say like this, you're gonna get all the cats, no matter what you do. But on something like that, and on like the pirate bag, there were certain parts of the bag that I wanted to see, and I didn't want, you know, the same print on the front as the print on the back, because I've already got that. So I have to kind of cut it strangely to get the piece that I want out of the fabric, and I hate cutting fabric. I don't mind sewing it, I don't mind pinning it, I don't mind doing any of that other stuff, I just hate cutting it, because if you cut it wrong, then your entire bag is screwed. Anyway, so that's all the physical stuff I have to show you. But I just wanted to do a little plug. I posted this on Bewitched Stitches anyway. But I just really like these designs, so I wanted to show you. There is an Etsy shop called Quiltify Design. And he does a lot of sampler sort of patterns, which are not really my bag. I don't get the whole... I mean... The thing about samplers, I like the history of them. I like that people are doing reproductions and I like looking at them. I just don't know how much I would personally enjoy stitching what's on a sampler. Like repeating alphabets and stuff like that, I can just see myself getting kind of bored with it. But these ones are sampler types, but they're a little out of the ordinary. So if you watch Elena B. on Flosstube. See, I know everything, guys. Like, I've not been on Flosstube, but I haven't stopped watching Flosstube. Like, I'm still a part of all of this. She is working on... It, like, looks like a Quaker sampler, but it's got, like, skulls and things all over it. That's by Quiltify Design. What's it actually called? The All Souls Ver something or other. I don't know how to say that word. You'll see it if you go on Quiltify Design. I appreciate a Quaker sampler. But he's also got one called the All Souls Band, which is a band sampler. Same deal. Skeletons. There's like owls and bats and things on there. So it's one of those things like you stitch it up, you hang it on your wall, your mom comes over. Oh, what a nice needlework. Wait, what is that? What's happening? What is this? It's like one of those, you have to do a double take whenever you're looking at it, and I like that. It's like needlework with a twist. So, I'll see. I've got them on my iPad here because I haven't been around a printer since I bought them. I usually print out paper copies of all this sort of stuff. I might have to turn my brightness down if you can't see this. Oh, that's... hang on. Let me adjust. Better. Sort of better. So that's the All Souls Band. You can't see it. Great. That's a little better. There we go. So I got that one, so you can see it's got skulls and owls. And it's just fun. So I bought that one from Quiltify Design. And what else did I buy from Quiltify Design? I bought this Jeanne d'Arc pattern. That's Joan of Arc, I think, if I pronounced that correctly. This is not, it's got the French alphabet on it, so it's a sampler sort of in that way, but it's not a sampler with like repeating motifs or anything like that. You see? So it's got like the cool medieval village in the background, and then the alphabet at the bottom, if you're familiar with the French language. It's got all the different accents and stuff like that on every letter. Sorry, this is not working great. I have a light shining at me from the front, so it's kind of glaring on the iPad, but I think you get the idea. So that's that one. You don't see patterns of people being burned at the stake every day, so again, it's just like fun. Is it fun? I think it's fun. This is the same thing, but in like a suggested brown instead of like the blue color. I don't know what color I'd be doing this in. Definitely not blue. Brown, maybe. Maybe I could get a variegated. I don't like the stripy look of variegated, but if I got like a very subtle variegated one, maybe that could look cool. Suggestions. And then the last one I bought from him is my favorite. Again, I won't be doing this in blue, but I love this pattern. So it's like a sampler pattern. I think he said he based it off of like Danish ship samplers. It's called the Kraken. So you know, you got your ships, which are going to be super fun to stitch because I like stitching ships. And then the Kraken's just coming out of the waves there and just fucking your shit up. I've been swearing a lot in this video. That's something that I do. I don't know if that's come through in my previous videos, but that's me, so get used to it. Okay. So like I said, I bought a lot more patterns and stuff like that since we've talked last because it's been years. But I'm not going to show those today because it's almost an hour in and I think I've shown you enough. So, I'm not going to lie and pretend that I'm going to do these in any semblance of a schedule or anything, and like I said, this is probably really bad timing considering I'm moving back across the country into a different house, and I'm going to have to pack up all of my stuff, which I'm not looking forward to because I like to touch my stuff. But I did an interview today. I've got another interview. I just got another email after I did the first interview, and they were like, hey, let's set up an interview. So I'm going to have a second interview upcoming sometime, so my life is going to be full of stress and reacclimating myself to Pittsburgh, but I'm very excited to be moving back. So I think that's all I got for you guys today. I missed you. I'm sorry there have been no cat appearances. They were here. They just weren't here. Yeah. So I guess I'll see you when I see you, if it's another 2 years. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, bye guys. One thing, forgot to mention, I did finish one more cross stitch. It was the Goin' Fishin' Flies and Lures cross stitch that I was working on for my dad. I finished it up for Father's Day and gave it to him, so I no longer have it, but I will insert a picture of it here. When you don't film a video for 2 years, you forget stuff. I also finished this, and this. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, bye!